Yo, what's good everyone, Lad here. Big news are coming out on Wednesday, and I'm extremely stoked about it. The Nier Automata collab is finally happening. I've been a huge fan of the game since I played it on release. From the awesome story to the beautiful soundtracks. I pulled Nier characters in some of the gacha games that had the collaboration, from Final Fantasy Brave Exvius to War of the Visions, Sin Oalis, Nier Reincarnation, and I'm finally going to be on Octopath Traveler cotc. Enough said, let's go over each character and who you should aim for, starting with 9S, a free unit. 9S is a merchant of the Yall faction. He is a lightning and fire user. His role is of support, breaking shields, and dealing magic damage. He is also the second merchant in the game to have a 4-hit polearm ability, next to Veludai, that isn't an ultimate, and the second unit in the game with an AoE 3-hit shield break ability, but more about that later. And more importantly, he again is the free unit of this collaboration. Shout out to the developers for giving us such a great merchant. Before we dive deeper into his kit, let's go over his voice actor. And oh boy, we're definitely getting some of the great voice actors of all time. 9S is voiced by Natsuki Hanai. He is a very renowned voice actor who voices really big name titles such as Tanjiro from Demon Slayer, Kanaki Ken from Tokyo Ghoul, and Arima Kusei from Your Lie in April. These are the ones I've seen so far. He's definitely got that main character voice in him. Anyways, let's go over his notable damage skills. Starting with his 4-hit polearm attack, it's a random target that has a potency of 45, so you want to be using this as a shield breaker instead of nuking. He has 1-hit single target lightning magic damage that breaks shields regardless, and also reduces physical attack and physical defense for 15%. So that's pretty nice to have. He has a self-destruct ability that's a 3-hit AoE fire magical damage that breaks shields regardless, but that does reduce his HP to 1, so watch out for that. And you can only use this ability once per battle. Finally, his ultimate is a 1-hit single target lightning magical damage and shows all weaknesses, and also reduces physical attack and defense 5% to 10% at max level, potency at 440 at level 1, and a max level 525. For his notable support skills, he has an AoE 15% defense up for the entire front row. That's really nice to have, as that's a step in the right direction. Moving on to his passives, he has a 40% EXP gain for himself in the back row. This again is kinda niche, as everyone nowadays nuts. His next passive, at the beginning of battle, he finds one weakness of all enemies, so we've seen that with someone like Cyrus, and then he has a 10% in fire and ice resistance, and a 20% in lightning. So taking a look at his stats, you can see that his physical attack is pathetically low, and that makes sense as he plays more of a support slash breaker and magical damage dealer. His SP, elemental attack, and speed are the highest right now out of all the merchants, so that's always nice to have. So the next question, should you pull? Of course you should. He's going to be a free unit and everyone's going to get him. Just make sure you log in and do the free pull to get him. Now for longevity wise, for those who don't have a good merchant, he can definitely function as one, but don't expect high physical damage, and he's more focused on magical damage. We'll be getting better merchants in the future, as it's a gacha game, but for a free unit, you really can't complain. He's a great unit, and any unit that has a 4-hit attack type is always welcomed. Alright, let's go over his character design. 4 out of 5, his sprite looks pretty cool, and his picture is pretty cool. Voice actor, 5 out of 5. Natsuki Hanai is definitely a main character among the Japanese voice actors. Abilities, 4 out of 5. Again, any unit that has a 4-hit attack is always welcomed. Not only that, he does have a AoE physical defense buff and an AoE 3-hit fire attack that breaks shields regardless. Global buff, 0 out of 5. Again, he's a free unit. Time limited, unfortunately he is, so 0 out of 5. Overall impressions, not bad, 3.5 out of 5. For a free unit, you're getting a good 5-star merchant. Alright, moving on to our next character, the best waifu, Tubi. She is a warrior from the Fiend faction. She has access to both sword and axe abilities, making an awesome ally to have. Before we take a look at her skills, again, let's go over her voice actress. Yui Ishikawa, another awesome voice actress. Her most notable role is Mikasa from Attack on Titans. And if you listen carefully, you can almost hear the similarity in Mikasa and Tubi when they talk. She has that calm coolness to her. Anyways, onto her skills. She has a 3-hit single target sword physical damage, potency is 65, and her nuke attack with that is a 1-hit single target sword physical damage that will always crit at max boost, with potency of 260. And then she has the same abilities, this time before axe. She has a 3-hit single target axe physical damage and a 1-hit single target axe damage, potency of 260 that will always crit at max boost. And then moving on to her elemental attack, she and 9S has the self-destruct ability, which is a 3-hit AoE fire magical damage that breaks shields regardless and reduces her HP to 1. And again, you can only use this once per battle. And then her next magical attack is a 2-hit AoE dark magical damage that reduces physical defense by 15%. And then on to her notable support skills. She has dodge, so kind of like Tressa, she is able to evade one physical attack, and then her next ability, she's able to restore her own HP, once 105, and her SP by 5. She does also have the AoE 15% defense up for the front row. So for her passive, for her first passive, she has a 15% chance of dodging any physical attack and regenerating 1 BP. Now this can only happen once per turn. Her next passive gives her herself 30% crit damage up, and then she has a 10% in dark resistance and 20 in light. 2B is one of those characters who suffers from too much greatness, as the other characters in this game. Not being able to use all her abilities that come with a character really limits their usage. You'll have to find the enemy weakness and adjust her accordingly. So taking a look at her stats, her physical attack is the highest and tied to Ulbrich, and her speed is the highest at 320. She will be the current strongest warrior to date, along with a crit passive increasing her damage even further. So should you pull, it's entirely on you. 2B is the best waifu, hands down, as we know thick thighs do save lives. That being said, because she is a warrior, this is the most oversaturated class, and we'll be getting better warriors in the future. She's great now, but will be outclassed later. As we know, Square Enix has a thing for sword users. Longevity, again great now, but later warriors down the road will have better usage. Because she does have access to both 3-hit attacks on axe and sword, she'll become another great axe user to our already small axe crew. Well, onto her character design, 5 out of 5. Her sprite and her drawing looks absolutely amazing. Any ladies with glossy lipstick always gets me weak in the knees. Voice actress Yu Ishikawa, I absolutely adore her in Attack on Titans, and I just like her voice overall. Abilities, 4 out of 5, not bad. She's the first character in the game that's going to be able to cover both axe and sword, so that's super cool. Longevity wise, again she is of the warrior class, and we know how much Square Enix loves their sword users, so there's going to be better sword users in the future. So 3.5 out of 5. Global buff, 0 out of 5. She was already good enough already. Time limited, unfortunately again, yes, 0 out of 5. Overall impression, she's pretty good. At 4 out of 5. She'll get outclassed in the future. Finally and lastly, we have A2, or Best Girl. She's the thief of the Power faction. She has access to sword, dagger, and axe skills. Her role again is a physical DPS, and she's also the prized unit of the 3. Before we roll into her DMs, let's go over her voice actress. She's voiced by Ayaka Suwa, another very talented seiyuu. Unfortunately, I'm only familiar with A2 and Iris from Konosuba, but she does have a pretty cool voice. Moving on to her skills, and geez, does she have some amazing abilities. She has a 3-hit single target sword physical damage, potency of 65, and a 1-hit single target sword nuke, potency of 230, and added effect of 20% speed down to the enemy. She has a 3-hit single target dagger physical damage, again potency of 65, and a 1-hit single target dagger nuke, potency of 230, plus a 20% defense down. And then finally, she has a 3-hit single target axe physical damage attack, and then a 1-hit single target axe physical damage nuke, potency of 260. Her potency compared to 2B is a bit weaker, but she does have added effects. And then for her ultimate, she has a dagger physical damage single target, potency of 440 at level 1 to 525 at max level, and it also decreases physical defense down 10% level 1, 15% at max level. And you'll notice that she does not have any elemental attacks in her kit. She is purely physical DPS. Onto her notable support skills, she has something called Berserker Mode. This ability will be permanently on your ability list. It's a 6-turn 15% increase in physical damage, crit rate, and speed, but you also take 40% damage of your max HP. And in her next support skill, she's able to provoke all enemies and give herself a self-attack and crit up of 15%. Onto her passives. So once her Berserker Mode is activated, she's able to use a physical attack ability twice. So exactly like Therion's at max BP. And then her next passive, she's able to retain 1 HP if her HP were to drop below 0, so kind of like Elfin's. And then she has a 10% in dark resistance and 20 in light. Looking at her stats, she does have the highest HP attack and physical defense, but she does have the lowest elemental attack at a whimpering 110. And this is perfectly fine, as it shows you how much your character's stats correlates to her skills. She has no elemental skill, and her skills are nothing but physical damage attacks. And again, just like 2B, she's another character that's heavily held back by her limitation of skill usage. You'll have to find whoever you're up against, adjust her skills accordingly to the enemy's weakness. She and other units, such as Elfin and Ophelia, at Awakening 2 will be the most optimal. So Shijipo, she is an amazing unit in JP to this day. To be able to break 6 shields of either sword, dagger, or axe, and nuke with either attack type, and also being able to activate her abilities twice, makes her absolutely amazing. She'll definitely be the one you want to add to your squad. Longevity, she's here for a long time. She's versatile at what she does. and has insane damage output. Although she does have a major downside, and that requires you to do as much damage as you can during the 6 turns once she activates Berserk mode. Think of her as a burst damage character that dwindles down after 6 turns. Nonetheless, she'll be a permanent in my team when she comes out, although that's if we're able to pull for her. Let's go over character design. 5 out of 5. Her sprite and drawing looks totally cool. Voice actress Ayaka Suwa, 4.5 out of 5. I need to watch more anime. Abilities, 5 out of 5. To be able to cast her abilities twice in one turn is going to be game changing. Again, she's still a character that's being heavily used in JP. I don't see her not being used for a while. Global buff, 0 out of 5. She's pretty broken. Time limited, again, unfortunately, yes, 0 out of 5. Overall impression, you should pull if you have enough rupees. She's going to destroy a lot of things in her path. Alright, so that's that. Overall thoughts, this is our first collab, and it's with awesome characters from a great game. All these units are amazing in their own right. That being said, this is a time limited collaboration, so these units will not be added on to the permanent pool. Of course, there's going to be a rerun in the future, but no one knows when that will be. In the JP side, the Nier banner came out as a paid step-up banner, and the pity for a 5-star was 6,000 rupees. We'll be going pretty hard on this banner. I would like to get both A2 and 2B, so let's hope RNGesus is with us. To anyone who's pulling on Wednesday, let's wish for good luck. And remember to spend only what you have and don't fall into gacha depths no return. I've seen this happen to too many people, myself included. This is a single player game. As much as these games awards having new characters, it's important to take care of yourselves and your expenses. I hope this video was able to help you out, and like always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves, let out.